Hello and welcome, my dear students. Today, I welcome you again to this lecture number 4 or 5, I think, of this top 50 NCRT series. And today, I have chosen the chapter Origin and Evolution of Life. So, without wasting time, let's begin our discussion. So, there are very simple questions, but these questions can be asked in your examination. And मैं आपको बता दूं एवोल्यूशन के बारे में कि एवोल्यूशन जो है ये एक ऐसा चैप्टर है जहाँ पर सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन सारी फैक्चुअल है, इट्स ऑल फैक्चुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन एंड इफ़ यू रिमेंबर द फैक्चुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन करेक्टली यू विल बेनिफिट एंड स्कोर फ्रॉम दिस चैप्टर इजीली. तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 से. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 what is it asking us? Question number 1 is asking us about the origin of universe. So what is the estimate that has been made about the origin of universe? So you must all remember, according to your NCRT book, it is 20 billion years ago. So universe originated about 20 billion years ago. BYA is billion years ago. And to be clear, what is billion? Billion is 10 raised power 9. Okay, 20 billion years ago. Let's go to question number 2. अब क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 आपको क्या बोल रहा है? ओरिजिन ऑफ यूनिवर्स इज एक्सप्लेनड बाय. कौन सी थ्योरी है जो ओरिजिन ऑफ यूनिवर्स एक्सप्लेन करती है? व्हाट इज द थ्योरी विच एक्सप्लेन्स ओरिजिन ऑफ यूनिवर्स? सो यू ऑल मस्ट रिमेंबर दिस. There is a theory called Big Bang theory. Big Bang theory. This Big Bang theory explains the origin of universe. It states that a huge explosion occurred in a single entity mass called singularity, which had led to formation of the whole universe. So remember this name, Big Bang theory. Question number 3 is about the Earth. And what is the rough estimate that has been made about the origin of Earth? You have to remember this as well. It is about 4.5 BYA. Again, what is BYA? Billion years ago. Let's go to question number 4. Molten mass released. So after the explosion of Big Bang, then molten mass was formed, and when that settled down, it released certain gases on the Earth's surface. What were the gases that were released? These included, according to a textbook, these include the first one being this H2O, then another one being CH4 methane, another one being NH3, and another one being carbon dioxide. These four gases are written in your book. Note that these gases include carbon dioxide, but the gas that was included in the chamber of Stanley Miller experiment, that was H2. That was H2. Okay, you have to remember that in the Stanley Miller experiment. चलो क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 पे जाते हैं. एंड क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 आपको बोल रहा है लाइफ अपीयर्ड डैश बिलियन ईयर्स अगो. सो इट हैज़ बीन रिटन इन द इंट्रोडक्शन दैट लाइफ अपीयर्ड अबाउट 4 billion years ago or 500 million years ago after the origin of Earth. So I'm going to write here 4 billion years ago, which is 500 billion years ago after origin of Earth. अर्थ जो है उसका ओरिजिन 4.5 बिलियन ईयर से को है, और उसके 500 साल बाद, 500 मिलियन साल बाद लाइफ आई अर्थ पे 4 बिलियन ईयर से को. लेट्स गो क्वेश्चन नंबर 6. क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 asks you about spontaneous generation. You might have heard about spontaneous generation. Spontaneous generation बोलता है कि लाइफ जो है इनऑर्गेनिक मटेरियल से खुद ब खुद बनी. ठीक है, तो इसको रिजेक्ट किया था एक साइंटिस्ट ने अपने एक्सपेरिमेंट से, एंड दैट साइंटिस्ट इज नन अदर दैन योर लुइस पास्चर. That scientist is none other than your Louis Pasteur. So Louis Pasteur has to be remembered, and his experiment has a special name. This experiment name is Swan Neck experiment. Swan Neck experiment. Swan Neck experiment. Okay, let's go to question number 7. Chemical evolution was given by who? So first successful attempt in explaining the origin of life was put forward by two scientists, Oparin and Haldane, and their theory is called as theory of chemical evolution. So the answer will be Oparin and Holiday. Opera Holiday, never ever forget this. So, what are the points that we learned? We learned that universe originated 20 billion years ago. We learned that the origin of universe is explained by this theory called Big Bang theory. We learned that Earth was formed about 4.5 billion years ago, and molten mass released these particular gases. Life appeared about 4 billion years ago, and spontaneous generation, a concept that life was formed from non-living matter directly, abruptly, was discussed by Louis Pasteur, and chemical evolution, the concept was given by two scientists. One of them is Oparin and the other one is Haldane. Okay, so let us go to question number 8. Question number 8 asks you about Miller-Urey experiment, and it says Miller performed simulation experiment in. So Miller formed an apparatus in which he created the conditions similar to the conditions of the early atmosphere, which was reducing, by the way, and mm, he did this experiment in the year 1953. So it is very easy question. The experiment was performed in 1953. Question number 9. The question has been asked. This question has been asked. Temperature of apparatus of Miller-Urey experiment. It was 800 degrees Celsius. So always remember this temperature of the Miller-Urey experiment apparatus. 800 degrees Celsius. Question number 10. First non-cellular form of life appeared. So there are two important objectives that you must always remember. Non-cellular form of life, that is the RNA, protein, etc. And cellular form of life, that is the protocell, first cell, prokaryotic cell. So when did first non-cellular form of life appear? According to your book, it is 3 billion years ago, or we can say 3000 million years ago. And about the first cellular form of life, it is 2 billion years ago, or we can also say 2000 million years ago. Very important piece of numerical information. Question number 12. So fossils are found in. What is it asking you? Actually, we have fossils are found in rocks, and rocks are of three types: igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. And you are asked, this is an asked question. पहले भी पूछा गया है ये क्वेश्चन, तो आपको बोल रहे हैं कि इस रॉक में होता है फॉसिल. सो द आंसर इज सिंपल. द फॉसिल्स आर फाउंड इन sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks. Okay, sedimentary rocks. About question number 13. Question number 13 states that recapitulation theory was discarded by. So there's a theory called a recapitulation, which states that when there is embryogenesis of the higher organisms, they tend to repeat some features of lower organisms. For example, the mammals, their heart passes through two and three chambered stage before becoming four chambered. Likewise, they have pharyngeal gill slits in their embryonic life. So this was called as recapitulation, but this recapitulation was then discarded or disproved by von Baer. So you are asked, and it was observed. Recapitulation was observed by Ernest Haeckel, but it was discarded by von Baer. Okay. Question number 14. Same origin but different function. So there are some organs which have same origin but different function. What are these organs called? These are called as homologous organs. These are called as homologous organs. So what are the things that we learned? Simulation experiment being performed in 1953, temperature of Miller-Urey experiment being 800 degrees Celsius, non-cellular form of life being 3 billion years ago, cellular form being 2 billion years ago, fossils being found in sedimentary rocks, and recapitulation discarded by von Baer but observed by Ernest Haeckel, and organs with same origin but different function, they are referred as homologous organs. They are referred as homologous organs. Okay, let's go to question number 15. Homology leads to. So, what kind of evolution arises due to homology? So, when homology occurs, that is from the same origin, different function occurs. This type of evolution is called as divergent evolution. So my dears, it is called as divergent evolution. Okay, it's called as divergent evolution. Question number 16. Bougainvillea and cucurbita represent. So bougainvillea, thorns of bougainvillea and tendrils of cucurbita, they typically represent the homology or the homologous organs. Then we have these flippers of penguins and dolphins. Sorry, there's a misprint. Flippers of penguins and dolphins, they represent analogy. And what is analogy? It's quite opposite of homology. It is same same function. It is uh, same function but different origin. Okay, it leads to convergent evolution. Question number 18. Industrial melanism. So industrial melanism is a story about peppered moth biston betuliera, in which you had white predominant varieties. पहले इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन से पहले बहुत ही ज़्यादा वाइट वैराइटीज़ थे, बिकॉज ट्रीज़ पे लाइकन्स थे. लेकिन उसके बाद जब इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन आया तो चारों तरफ ट्रीज़ पे स्मोक बैठ गया, जिसकी वजह से ब्लैक वैराइटीज़ प्रोडोमिनेट हो गई. इसका रीज़न था कि पहले लाइकन्स वाइट लाइकन्स के बैकग्राउंड में वाइट मॉथ्स को कैमोफ्लैज हो जाता था, वो वहाँ पे छुप पाते थे. लेकिन फिर जब इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन आया तो ब्लैक बैकग्राउंड पे वाइट वाले जो है ना वो इजीली नज़र आने लगे प्रीडेटर्स को, और उनकी पॉपुलेशन फिर कम हो गई, ब्लैक वाले डोमिनेट हो गए. सो ये एग्जांपल किसकी है? दिस एन एग्जांपल ऑफ नेचुरल सिलेक्शन. दिस इज़ एन एग्जांपल ऑफ नेचुरल सिलेक्शन. क्वेश्चन नंबर 19. इसी पैराग्राफ में आप देखोगे एक लाइन लिखी है, अबाउट डेफिनेशन लिखी है अबाउट एवोल्यूशन, नेचर ऑफ एवोल्यूशन. सो एवोल्यूशन इज़ अ वेरी स्लो प्रोसेस एंड वी कॉल दिस प्रोसेस एज स्टोकियास्टिक. एक पर्टिकुलर वर्ड इस्तेमाल किया गया स्टोकियास्टिक. सो समटाइम्स यू मे बी आस्क्ड एवोल्यूशन इज अ डैश प्रोसेस या स्टेटमेंट टाइप क्वेश्चन हो सकता है. स्टेटमेंट एक हो सकता है, एवोल्यूशन इज अ स्टोकियास्टिक process. The statement will be true. Slow process. Question number 20. Darwin's finches are example of. So this is a very important phenomena. Darwin's finches, they arose in the same geographical area. Then the islands, Galapagos Islands, separated, and they had to evolve along different lines. This type of evolution, this phenomena where different species first arise from same geographical area, then go to different geographical areas. This is called as adaptive radiation. Adaptive radiation. Adaptive radiation. So kindly keep this in mind. Question number 21 पे जाते हैं. Placental mammals and Australian marsupials. So when adaptive radiation occurs in several species and they tend to form similar types of organisms, that is called as adaptive convergence or convergent evolution. So Australian placental mammals and Australian marsupials both undergone adaptive radiation, but they formed similar types of life forms or species. So what is this phenomena called? It is called adaptive convergence or simply convergent evolution, or simply convergent evolution. Okay, so we learned that homology leads to divergent evolution. We learned that bougainvillea and cucurbita, they are examples of homology. Flippers of penguins and dolphins are examples of analogy. Industrial melanism shows natural selection, and evolution is basically a stochastic or slow process. Darwin's finches show adaptive radiation, that is origin of the species from the same geographical area, then going to different geographical areas. And placental mammals and Australian marsupials, they both are examples of adaptive, they constitute the adaptive convergence or what we call as convergent evolution. Okay, so let us go to question number 22. It says that dash and dash are key concepts of Darwinism. You can be asked this question. It is natural selection. Natural selection, and number two is branching descent. These two concepts, natural selection and branching descent, these are considered to be key concepts of Darwinism. Theory of use and disuse. There was a scientist called Lamarck, which was French naturalist. He put this theory. So it was put forward by Lamarck. He stated that more use leads to more development and less use leads to atrophy. Question number 24. Darwin was influenced by population study of. So what was the scientist? What is the name of the scientist who studied populations with respect to resources? His name is T.R. Malthus. Thomas Robert Malthus. Okay, ध्यान में रखना. क्वेश्चन नंबर 25 की तरफ ध्यान रखेंगे। सिंगल लार्ज स्टेप म्यूटेशन। सिंगल लार्ज स्टेप म्यूटेशन कंसेप्ट दिया था ह्यूगो डिवेरीज ने, एंड इस सिंगल लार्ज स्टेप म्यूटेशन को हम साल्टेशन कहते हैं। तो वो बोलता था एक ही स्टेप में एवोल्यूशन होता है, एक बड़ी चेंज आती है, बड़ी म्यूटेशन आती है, उसी से एक ही बार में एवोल्यूशन हो जाता है एब्रप्टली। और उसने म्यूटेशन की कुछ प्रॉपर्टीज़ दी थी। उसने बोला था म्यूटेशन जो होते हैं वो रैंडम होते हैं, किसी भी करेक्टर को इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं, एंड वो डायरेक्शनलेस होते हैं। ये दोनों ही आस्क्ड क्वेश्चन है, बहुत ही ज़्यादा ध्यान देना है इनकी तरफ, ठीक है। तो उसके बाद हम आते हैं नेक्स्ट पॉइंट पे, हार्डी वेनबर्ग्स लॉ। हार्डी वेनबर्ग्स लॉ क्या कहता है? वो कहता है अगर 5 फैक्टर्स एब्सेंट होंगे, दैट इज़ दिस नेचुरल सिलेक्शन, रिकम्बिनेशन, जीन फ्लो एट्सट्रा एट्सट्रा, तो जीन फ्रीक्वेंसीज जो है ना दे रिमेन कांस्टेंट थ्रू द जनरेशंस, ठीक है। सो इट स्टेट्स दैट जीन फ्रीक्वेंसीज रिमेन कांस्टेंट through generations if evolutionary forces are absent। एंड वो इवोल्यूशनरी फोर्सेस के बारे में हम यहाँ बात करेंगे क्वेश्चन नंबर 28 में। तो यहाँ बोल ही रहा है फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग हार्डी वेनबर्ग्स लॉ। तो व्हाट आर दीज फैक्टर्स? देयर आर 5 फैक्टर्स। तो देयर आर 5 फैक्टर्स, 1 2 3 4 5। सो व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट फैक्टर? फर्स्ट फैक्टर इज म्यूटेशन, second factor is gene flow, third factor is genetic drift, fourth factor is recombination, and fifth factor is natural selection. If all these factors are absent, evolution will not occur and gene frequencies will remain constant. So two key concepts of Darwinism: natural selection and branching descent, and used and distributed theory by Lamarck and population study by Malthus. Single step large mutation is called saltation, and the properties of mutation, they are random and they are directionless. And what is the statement of Hardy Weinberg's law? It states that gene frequencies remain constant through the generations if evolutionary forces are absent. And what are these evolutionary forces or factors affecting the Hardy Weinberg's law? Mutation, gene flow, genetic drift, recombination, and natural selection. Very important. So let's go to question number 29. Question number 29 says change in gene frequencies by chance. So whenever you see this word by chance, change in gene frequencies by chance, always write the phenomena is called genetic drift. The phenomena is called genetic drift. Okay. Then there's a factual point about the origin of invertebrates. So it is about 500 million years ago. Then about jawless fishes, which is about 350 million years ago. Then about dinosaurs, largest dinosaur. It is very easy. That was Tyrannosaurus rex with a height of about 20 feet. Then about the extinction of dinosaurs, which was about 65 million years ago. And then about the reason of extinction, which is probably the climatic change, because no other being was so powerful as dinosaurs. So question number 35, first mammals were, they were tree dwelling mammals and they are called as shrews. Okay, so what did we learn? Change in gene frequencies by chance is called genetic drift. This invertebrates evolved about 500 million years ago. Jawless fishes about 350 million years ago. Largest dinosaur was Tyrannosaurus rex, and extinction of dinosaurs occurred in 65 million years ago. Dinosaurs were killed most probably by the climatic change, and first mammals were so called shrews. Very, very important. Let's go to the penultimate slide, 36. Question number 36. Dryo and Ramapithecus. Dryopithecus and Ramapithecus lived. So it's also a database point. They lived about 15 million years ago in African areas. So the answer is 15 million years ago. Actually, the answer is 25 million years ago for Dryopithecus separately and 15 million years ago for Ramapithecus. But your book NCRT has mentioned 15 million years ago for both. So you might as well remember this because the question is most probably pyramid is supposed to be framed from that. Question number 37. Dryopithecus was more. And question number 38. Ramapithecus was more. So Dryopithecus was more resembling to apes. So I say it was more ape-like, while Ramapithecus was more man-like. So who is more close to you, Rama or Dryopithecus? Obviously Rama. He was more man-like. He appeared more like to be a modern man, but Ramapithecus was more resembling to apes. This is very important information can be asked. Question number 39. So after Ramapithecus, another fossil was discovered which came after Ramapithecus. We are supposed to came, which probably came after Ramapithecus. And what was it? Australopithecines. And with the fossil study, it was estimated that he probably lived in East African grasslands. East African grasslands. About Australopithecines. And question number 40. फर्स्ट ह्यूमन लाइक होमोनिड इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन, ये पूछा गया है बहुत बार. फर्स्ट ह्यूमन लाइक होमोनिड जो है दैट इज द होमो हैबिलस. Homo habilis, which was the fossil that came after Australopithecus, and he is considered to be first human-like hominid because his features resembled to the hominidae family to which we belong. Homo habilis, the first human-like hominid. Question number 41. Cranial capacity of Homo habilis. It was 650 to 800 cc centimeter cube. Cranial capacity is very important. It can again be asked. ये cranial capacity बहुत बार पूछी गई है, तो ध्यान रखिएगा इसका, ठीक है. तो इस चीज़ का आप ध्यान रखिए. नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर 42. जावा एप मैन इज, जावा एप मैन किसको बोलते हैं? जावा एप मैन बोलते हैं होमो इरेक्टस को. होमो इरेक्टस इज कॉल्ड एज जावा एप मैन. तो क्या सीख गए हम यहाँ पे? ड्रायोपिथिकस और रामापिथिकस अबाउट 15 मिलियन ईयर्स अगो रह रहे थे. एंड ड्रायोपिथिकस ज़्यादा एप्स को रिजेंबल करता था, रामापिथिकस ज़्यादा मैन को रिजेंबल करता था. ऑस्ट्रोपिथिकस भी एक था जो ईस्ट अफ्रीकन ग्रासलैंड्स में जिसके फॉसिल्स पाए गए थे. एंड फर्स्ट ह्यूमन लाइक होमोनिड जो है वो होमो हैबिलस है. इसके फीचर्स मैक्सिमम ह्यूमन्स को रिजेंबल करते हैं. और जो क्रैनल कैपेसिटी है होमो हैबिलस की दैट इज़ अबाउट 650 to 800 cc. फिर उसके बाद होमो इरेक्टस आया जिसको हम जावा एप मैन कहते हैं. ओके. क्वेश्चन नंबर 42. 43. Dash probably ate meat. So, which species in the line of human evolution probably ate meat? And the first one among them is Homo erectus. So, it is a very important question because Homo habilis के बारे में जो है वहाँ लिखा गया he probably did not eat meat. So, यहाँ पर अब मीट की बात की जाए तो अगर आपको ऐसा क्वेश्चन आए डैश प्रोबेबली एट मीट तो आपका आंसर हमेशा होमो इरेक्टस होगा. क्वेश्चन नंबर 44. क्रैनल कैपेसिटी ऑफ निएंडरथल मैन. सो ये तो बिल्कुल फैक्चुअल पॉइंट है, 1400 cc है ये. क्वेश्चन नंबर 45. क्रैनल कैपेसिटी ऑफ होमो इरेक्टस जो कि 900 cc है. एंड क्वेश्चन नंबर 46. डैश कवर द बॉडी विथ हाइड्स. एंड इसका आंसर निएंडरथल मैन है. निएंडरथल मैन अपनी बॉडी को हाइड्स से, एनिमल हाइड्स से कवर करता था. क्वेश्चन नंबर 47 की बात करें. प्रीहिस्टोरिक केव आर्ट ये कब डेवलप हुआ? इट डेवलप्ड अबाउट 18,000 years ago. एंड एग्रीकल्चर की बात करें 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. तो देयर इज वन क्वेश्चन पेंडिंग. हाँ, वी हैव 42, 53, 44, 46, 47, 48. ओके. 49. Homo agriculture developed 10,000 years ago. Okay, the simple answer. And Homo sapiens arose in Central Africa. तो अफ्रीका, सेंट्रल अफ्रीका में होमो सेपियंस का एस्टिमेट किया जाता है कि ये अराइज हुए थे सेंट्रल अफ्रीका में. ठीक है, तो ध्यान रखना अफ्रीका ही मेन आंसर है, सेंट्रल अफ्रीका लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. ये न्यूमेरिकल पॉइंट्स कुछ याद रखो. तो क्या सीखा इस लास्ट स्लाइड में कि अगर मीट की बात की जाए तो मीट इज़ मेनली एट्रीब्यूटेड टू होमो इरेक्टस. ठीक है. क्रेनल कैपेसिटी निएंडरथल मैन की 1400 cc, होमो इरेक्टस की 900 cc. और निएंडरथल मैन अपनी बॉडी को हाइड से कवर करता था. केव आर्ट 18,000 years ago एंड एग्रीकल्चर 10,000 years ago. और होमो सेपियंस का ऑरिजिन अफ्रीका. तो पिछले लेक्चर में एक एक्स्ट्रा हो गया था वो यहाँ पे इसको नहीं करेंगे, नया दे देंगे. 50 क्वेश्चन नंबर 50 आपको यहाँ से ही दे देंगे. तो द क्वेश्चन इज हैंडी मैन और टूल मेकर मैन. इज। तो हैंडीमैन या टूल मेकर मैन किसको बोलते हैं? तो आई थिंक यू ऑल नो द आंसर, इट इज़ होमो हैबलस। होमो हैबलस के बहुत सारे नाम हैं, तो इसलिए टूल मेकर मैन भी इसको बोलते हैं। एंड आई मैट एड क्वेश्चन नंबर 51 ऑल्सो, एक्स्ट्रा एक देते हैं आपको। तो क्वेश्चन नंबर 51 इज़ फायर। फायर है, मैं फायर किसने दिया था? फायर इवॉल्व्ड इन विच स्पीशीज ऑफ द मैन, फॉसिल स्पीशीज ऑफ द मैन, ठीक है। एंड द आंसर इज होमो इरेक्टस। तो होमो इरेक्टस probably knew the use of fire, he discovered the fire, okay। तो फायर was discovered by, ऐसा भी हम कह सकते हैं, फायर was discovered by, and the answer is homo erectus, okay। So this is the end of slide. I hope you liked the discussion. So not to forget this last, thank you, keep reading and keep smiling.